I hope you all had a great weekend. I know I did. I am now very much looking forward to a good, hopefully green market week. So first of all, welcome to everybody in the chat. Good morning, Ambition Silver, Shadow Girl, Acorn Sucks, and Kitchener Leslie. It looks like we've got some of the regulars already in, so that's awesome to see. And we've already got some conversation. Silver's talking about the new time format. Yeah, potentially we'll be streaming during the market close today. We might end up doing an hour-long stream during Power Hour from 3 to 4. We'll see if I actually end up doing that. Hopefully, I potentially will. We'll see. We'll see if I do it. And, of course, people are already talking about the SABA Capital buy-in to DWAC, so we'll take a peek at that real quick since it seems like people are interested. We'll pull back for it later when more people are in the stream because it's interesting. So SABA Capital Management, LP, buys Digital World Acquisition Corp, and you can see it right here. So their new purchases include DWACU, so they're buying DWAC units, and that's, I believe, it's a mixture of shares and warrants. So interesting to see that acquisition from SABA Capital. And you can actually see, if you look in the bottom left chart, SPY got very close to all-time highs. That's what we're watching today. We're hoping that the markets can potentially end this this bearishness that they've been experiencing, and they have over the past couple of days been doing very well. And if they make new all-time highs, then we're just on the way back up, it looks like. So that would be awesome to see. We're very close. We almost hit it in the, I think that was the pre-market. No, it was the after hours. We almost hit it on Friday. We got to $472.90. Let's see, where did we get? $472.99. So we only needed another, 30, 40 cents to get 55 cents to get to all-time highs. So not that far off. Good morning, Manny C. and Hero. And Lillian says, hi. Well, good morning, Lillian. What's up? And Rich M., good morning to you also. All right, there we go. We're getting some of the other regulars back in. Nice to see. So almost making new all-time highs with the S&P 500. We're getting real close to it. We're getting real close. We don't need that much more, only a couple bucks, and we would be there. I think we could do it today. I think that if it starts off in the right way, I think no doubt we could get to all-time highs. Potentially very early on. It looks like we've seen this pattern over and over again over the past year. Every time the S&P drops a little bit, we very quickly come back. It looks like this is just a continuation of that. Pretty much every time we see a drop, we just end up moving straight back up in a straight line to new all-time highs. We've done it over and over again. Pretty much every time there's been a drop. So it's impressive to see. I mean, we've done it not just during COVID also. You can see when COVID first hit, we moved down for a bit and then just started up in this straight line almost. So we did it during COVID, and we did it before COVID too. You saw very few times where we actually dipped down for a significant period of time, and it looks like this is not going to be one of them. So that's good to see. I know people are happy that their portfolios are going to stop bleeding. And good morning, Rocky Mountain Gobbler and Tim Poon. Maria, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we're going to see a green day today. It's looking like we will. The S&P is green from the close. As long as we open up where we are now, we're getting pretty darn close, actually, to where we closed on Friday. Hopefully we won't drop down too much. We're pretty darn close to it. If we drop another 50 cents, then we're actually red. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm thinking we could make new all-time highs in the S&P today. And it looks like Sundial had a little pop. They were up to 62. Now they're back down to 59, a little bit below 59, but they had a little pop in the pre-market. We also saw the same thing with, I think it was NAKD. We saw the same thing with NAKD, a little pop in the pre-market to 62. It's very closely tracking Sundial, although NAKD ended up being a lot more volatile. It was up to 62, and now it's down to 53. Sundial is only down to 58, so Sundial is a little bit more stable than NAKD. So let's see what we've got. We've also got the OPEC monthly report coming out later today at 7. So it'll be long after market close, but we do have the OPEC report, and the OPEC monthly oil market report covers major issues affecting the world oil market and provides an outlook for crude oil market developments for the coming year. The report provides a detailed analysis of key developments impacting oil market trends in world oil demand, supply, as well as oil market balance. So we're going to expect that later today around 7. That could be, it probably won't be great news. I don't expect, oil to get too much cheaper anytime soon. Unfortunately, it seems like the trend is that gas prices just keep going up and up. I'm sure you guys have all noticed it. Though I will say, I've been getting gas near my house lately, and it's been like $3.30 about, so kind of expensive. However, yesterday I went to Costco, and I have a Costco membership, and the oil or the gas there was pretty darn cheap. It was like 2.75, so it was pretty darn cheap compared to what we usually see. So I was happy to pick up some cheaper gas. I guess maybe I'll be going to Costco more often when I need gas. So we'll see. We'll see if I end up doing that. But what else have we got? We got the Federal Reserve decision coming out later this week. So this isn't today, but investors this week are set to focus on the Federal Reserve's final monetary policy decision of 2021, which may include more signaling of a monetary policy adjustment amid elevated inflation and a strengthening economic backdrop. So I think starting Tuesday, it is Tuesday and Wednesday, some Fed members are going to be meeting and discussing things. And I think Powell would be there too. Yeah, okay. Hold a press conference with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, and they'll potentially be discussing, well, they'll probably be discussing inflation, right? That's what I expect. They'll probably be discussing inflation, and they may end up saying some things that are either hawkish or maybe they'll move to a more dovish stance. We might see a little bit more easy monetary policy. I don't expect that, though. I think that they're probably trying to combat inflation pretty hard right around now, so we'll see what happens. I know they don't want too much inflation, but they certainly have done a lot to cause it. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. And Acorn Sucks says oil is down over $10 off the high. Yeah, it's around what, 71? Is it around 71 now or something like that? I think it got pretty darn cheap. But it hasn't affected prices at the gas station, though. The gas stations still charge a ton, except for Costco. I don't know why. Stand up. What's up, man? Good morning. Sundial, let's make money. I hope. It looks like we were up to 62 in the pre-market on Sundial, so I'm hoping we can make some money. I'm hoping we can on Sundial. Now, someone's talking about vehicle sales, and that makes me want to look at Tesla. Yeah, take a peek at Tesla. So Tesla, it looks like it's hovering right around 1,000. On Friday, they were below 1,000. That's going to be the battle. Whether or not Tesla drops below 1,000 or stays above, I don't know. 1,000's pretty high. I mean, granted, they have seen monumental runs in the past, so potentially they could be staying above 1,000. They did the same kind of thing with 400. It looks like when they were on their way up to 900. So I mean, we could see some more upside on Tesla. It's never a good idea to doubt Elon Musk. It's never a good idea to doubt him, but it's looking kind of expensive at the moment. Over 1,000 is honestly a pretty high price for Tesla. And let's pull up actually Tesla's market cap. We'll just see what it is real quick. It's over $1 trillion, I believe. And Elon Musk is still, yeah, okay, so Tesla is over $1 trillion market cap, $1.02 trillion market cap, and Elon Musk owns a decent amount of that. So Elon Musk is certainly benefiting from Tesla being so expensive, but I think he kept selling a little bit. And Penny Smith 2012 says, "Good morning, Rob. I always stop by to hit that like button. While WBX has been looking great after UBS report, could you take a look?" For sure, Penny Smith, and I appreciate that. So WBX. Wallbox. Okay, yeah. So they definitely pumped up. It looks like they were a SPAC, probably. They dipped down maybe when they first IPO'd, and then we're up to 27. So let's see what that report is. What was it, UPS or UBS? UBS report. All right, so let's see. Okay, and they're going to be at CES 2022, the Consumer Electronics Show. So, okay, started being covered by UBS with a $25 price target. Not bad. So, I mean, yeah, they could definitely do it. We'll have to see. Has the CES show happened yet? No, that happens in January. So that could be an important date to look for. January 5th to 8th. When they're actually doing their show at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. They do that every year, basically, to show off the best tech that they've got. Not just this company, but a ton of companies. A lot of VR technologies are there. But it looks like this is what? EV charging and energy management solutions? All right, so we'll definitely want to watch out for January 5th to 8th to see what they've got going on at CES. That could be a big time. There are typically a lot of news agencies that go there, and they'll surely be covering some of the things that they have to show at CES. So that'll be interesting to see. Until then, it looks like, what, did they just bounce off of $10? Did we just see a bounce off of 10? They might have. bounce off of 11 or kind of 12. It's more of a bounce off of 12. So, I mean, they are in an uptrend right now. Over the past couple of days, they've been uptrending with the market. It looks like they sold off with the market, and they're uptrending with the market now. So, this could be good for them. I would not count them out. It looks like just because they did start tanking a little bit while the market was going down, I would not count them out. They look like they're doing pretty good as of right now. If they're moving with the market, if they're about to show something off at CES. And Lost Pennsylvania Skill Machines, please don't spam the chat. Please don't spam the chat. So, Tim Boone asks, Rob, thinking about SWBI during the dips? Opinions. We'll take a peek. SWBI. Smith & Wesson brands. Ooh, I didn't even know this was trading. This is interesting. So, a gun manufacturer, Smith & Wesson. I've not actually looked too much into gun stocks. I should have probably looked into those, right before COVID hit, or when COVID was hitting. That probably would have been a great buy. Jeez, didn't think about that. But this is my first time thinking about them, actually. But wow, yeah, they've been doing pretty good. And obviously, I believe they make ammo as well. So ammo, there has been a shortage of that lately. I'm pretty sure it's been getting sold out everywhere pretty much. So they've definitely got a lot of customers eager to buy up whatever they can produce. And a lot of new first-time gun owners. This could be a good thing because when COVID hit, a lot of people started getting very worried. A lot of people ended up buying their first gun. So maybe this stock will be doing very well in the coming years because there are all these new gun owners who are going to be needing ammo. They're going to be needing modifications to put on their weapons. Who knows if they need, I don't know if they make silencers or anything like that, but they could certainly be doing very well in the future. So not a bad buy in my opinion, especially after this most recent dip. Let's see what the options look like. SWBI. So if you were to sell some options, it's not the highest premium on these puts, but you could potentially sell some options on it. Maybe January 21st. So it's not the best. It's not bad either though. You could be getting around 5%. You could get around 5% for holding this option contract for a little over a month. Not a bad sale, and then you could get in at $17.50. So there's the potential that, if you wanted to get in on this, you could sell the $17.50 put for the January 22nd strike date of 2022, or sorry, January 21st strike date of 2022, and you'd collect about $1 premium for doing that. So not a bad idea, actually. I might be interested in that. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with them. It looks like, we'll see where they open. That's an interesting one, though. And Tyler Mike says, Sundial vote for Alcana got postponed? No way. Let's see. Did it seriously get postponed? Let's see. Did they postpone it? Are you sure? Let's see. Over the past week, what have we got? Because as of December 8th, it looks like, where is this? So, as of December 8th, let's see. So this was posted December 8th. The Sundial growers reiterating their commitment to the transaction with Alcana. And it looks like the meeting will be held where voters can, where Alcana voters can vote to merge with Sundial. Looks like it will be held on December 14th. That's what they've said as of December 8th. Unless there's some new news that I'm not aware of, it's looking like they will be doing it tomorrow. At least the vote will be tomorrow to see if they want to go through with the merger. But that's interesting. Alcana vote postponed till January 7th. Wow. So they changed it. That's interesting. Just right after putting out that statement that they would be doing it. That's crazy. So let's see if I can't find this. Let's see if we can't find it. So, wow. Alcana announces postponement of the special meeting regarding the proposed plan of arrangement to January 7th, 2022. Wow. So this came out at 7:30 a.m. And Sundial hasn't been doing great since 7:30. In fact, at 7:30 they started moving down in a decent way. So, all right. So what the heck happened? So deadline to vote is January 5th. Oh, to vote by proxy. All right, all right. Wow. So, so the special meeting is postponed to January 7th. Only 56.29% of Alcana shares eligible to vote have voted as of the original deadline to vote by proxy of December 10th. The current voting results show a lack of sufficient support to reach the necessary 66% threshold of votes cast to consummate the arrangement. Alcana will continue to engage with Alcana shareholders during the one-time extension. Alcana shareholders who have questions about the arrangement or need assistance to vote should contact Laura Hill. So, okay. I see. So I see. So it looks like they're postponing it because they don't have enough people who have voted already. So they're worried that not enough people will actually show up to the meeting on December 14th. And we need to change. The title on this. We need to change that. So Sundial vote postponed. Whew. That's interesting. I would not have expected them to have any trouble getting this vote to go through. I would have thought that it would be easy. If I was an Alcana shareholder, I'd be all for it. So, I mean, to be fair, for Alcana, it looks like it's a smaller stock. People might not be, if they're just holding it, they might not be as up to date with it as they should be. They might not even be aware that there is a merger going through. And they might just not be thinking to vote. They might not even be looking at it. And honestly, if it's not the kind of thing that you can just do in your brokerage account, if you can't just go to your Robinhood or wherever they're holding their Alcana shares and click a little button that says vote yes or no, a lot of people just aren't going to go through the trouble of actually voting however it is they have to vote by proxy or going to the meeting. A lot of people aren't going to do it. So we'll see. And Stand Up says, honestly, I hope it doesn't go through. Sundial could take the 10M and find a better company to merge. Alcana seems decent. They're what, the largest liquor retailer? I think it's the largest liquor retailer or potentially distributor in Canada. Privately held, that is. So I think they could be a decent one. I mean, it's nice that they're expanding into alcohol, I think. At the very least, I'm happy to see that they're expanding into alcohol as opposed to some more cannabis companies. It is nice to diversify a little bit. It'll give them some cash flow while they're waiting for legalization in the U.S., and that'll be nice for them. They'll have some better earnings calls, hopefully, due to that. So I'm not too upset with the Alcana merger. I'm happy about it. But what's up, JL? What's up, man? And Kevin Reed says, warrants for any SPAC will lag stock price until closer to final deal date, says Kevin Reed. Yeah, that's the case. So DWAC, it looks like. There we go. So, yeah, there it is. All right, so DWACW trading at 19 just about, and DWAC trading at 56. So it is pretty darn expensive compared to the warrants. The warrants are a pretty good deal at this point if you're holding them with the hope of getting TMTG shares, right? If you actually want to hold all the way through the shares and you're not just trading in and out of the warrants, then they're pretty darn cheap, at least at these prices, right? If you're willing to buy TMTG for what would it be? It'd be about $30 per share. Then the warrants are not a bad way to go because they're trading for $18.50 about. Add on $11.50 to that, and you're trading them and you're buying them for $30 a share, just about. So not a bad deal on the warrants. They're not a bad deal at all. Wow, Silver says, my wife's school stopped the school shooting in early stages last Friday. Kids stole building blueprints and had an Instagram account with teachers' pictures. Wow. It's a middle school, too. They're starting young. And Stand Up says, yeah, I was looking at some of their shops. It's kind of outdated, unlike Inner Spirit. Only thing I like about the deal is partnership with Nova Cannabis. Yeah, that's that's something. The Nova Cannabis, that's going to make Sundial, definitely going to put them in a good position. They're going to have a lot more shops available to them, a lot of shops that can start carrying their products. So I would be excited to see that. And Penny Smith, thank you very much for the super chat, man. Thank you very much, and you are welcome. You are welcome for, I forget which stock that was that we were looking at, but you're welcome, man. And Kevin Reed says there are some additional tax consequences on the warrants, though. Oh, is that the case? Is that the case? So I was unaware there were additional tax consequences. I could see that being the case, though. Yeah, if you end up getting the shares super cheap, I'm not sure how the government would do it, but they certainly want their taxes. They certainly do. They definitely want them. So, guys, it is about that time. We're about 21 minutes into the stream, and I'm going to point out that we have 83 viewers, 33 likes. That's a 50 like difference. So potentially we could get 50 additional people in here hitting the like button. And that would be much appreciated if we could do it. I would really like to see that many more likes coming on the stream. We'll see if we can do it. Probably not 50, but we could definitely get up to maybe 50 likes total. That's not too far off. We'll see if we can do it, though. In fact, we're already there, so we've already blown past the record. We'll see how much further we can go. Thank you guys very much, though. That's much appreciated. It's good to see, and it does help get the stream out to additional people, which I think is interesting. The more likes, the better the algorithm ends up liking the stream, and the more people it pushes it out to. So the more comments and stuff we get in here, it's a good time. So I'm happy with it. But for those of you who were not in the stream at the very beginning when we first started, I'm sure you guys will be interested in what we discussed very early on. So first off, the first couple of minutes of the stream, and now we've got a lot more people in here than the first 10 that we had when we talked about this, but Saba Capital Management buys some shares of Digital World Acquisition Corp. Actually, not shares. They buy units. So they have listed in their new purchases DWACU. And DWACU, I believe, is a mixture of shares and warrants. So it looks like they're entering through a little bit more of a nuanced approach. They're buying up the units. We can take a peek at the units and see what they're trading at. I've not actually looked at the units that much. It looks like they're trading at 64. So they're trading higher than the shares, it looks like. I guess because it is a share and a fraction of a warrant, I think that's what it is. I'm not sure exactly what it is, what fraction of a warrant it is, but it looks like maybe one warrant. I don't know. I haven't looked too closely into the units, but just I prefer buying either the stock. Well, technically, I prefer selling options on the stock. Let's see what obviously these will update as the market opens, but you can sell some options for a pretty penny on this stock, especially depending on when you're willing to see that strike date. If you're willing for the strike date to be pretty far out, then you can sell some pretty darn expensive options on it. Yeah, you could be getting this thing pretty cheap if it ends up executing. So, not necessarily a bad sale on those options if anyone's interested in selling some options. I might do that sometime this week. We'll see. If DWAC keeps moving down a little bit, if they break through 55, then the option premiums would probably get pretty expensive, and that might be a good entrance that I'd be looking for. So we'll see. And Daughter of Jerusalem asks, prediction for DWAC today? Well, hopefully it won't break through. I mean, I think that if we have a good market, then we shouldn't break through 55. I hope we don't. But if we do, then it's probably just a better buying opportunity, right? For people who are interested in getting additional shares or potentially trying out another strategy with options, then it's just another buying opportunity. So I wouldn't be too worried about DWAC falling a bit. And taking a peek at SPY, it looks like we might actually be in for a little bit of red today. It looks like we're just barely going to be opening in the green. It's going to be close. 40.70, it looks like. If we're above 40.70, which are only a couple of cents away, we'll be green. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. If we end up dropping below that, we might actually have a red market day today. It wasn't looking like it. It was looking like we should have been moving up. We almost hit all-time highs in the pre-market, the after hours yesterday, on Friday, I should say. And now it's looking a little bearish over the past little bit. Maybe people are expecting the Federal Reserve decision to be a little bit more hawkish. That's what we're waiting for later this week. Looks like that meeting hasn't been changed, like Sundial's has been. But the Federal Reserve decision, they're going to be holding a meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. Powell is going to be talking. and he'll give us some indication of how bullish or bearish he is on the markets. If he's going to be a little bit more hawkish or dovish with the monetary policy, we're going to have to see what he says about it. Hopefully, he's a little bit more dovish. That would be good for the markets. I know people have been seeing a little bit of market pain ever since Powell's been talking about tapering a little bit sooner, about raising interest rates a little bit sooner. That's not great to see. It looks like CFVI is popping a little bit, but people have been kind of fearful of that, and the markets look like they are actually starting to react kind of poorly in expectations of this meeting. It looks like we had a great close on Friday, but man, today has not been great. We've actually just been moving down in the pre-market, so not what we were hoping for. We'll see what happens when we actually start the trading day, though. We're not that far off from it. We've only got 4 minutes to go. So we'll see. And Silver says there's chatter about a Christmas rally too if the Fed meeting goes well. Yeah, I think that probably be the case. That makes a lot of sense. If the Fed meeting goes well, that would obviously be very good. We'd probably see new all-time highs on the S&P. Probably a decent number of stocks would see all-time highs. A lot of the tech companies are doing very well. In fact, Apple, I want to take a peek at Apple. Apple, it looks like, hit new all-time highs in the pre-market this morning. Man, Apple's been killing it lately. They've just been moving up and up. And, over the past year, started at 120 this time last year. Now they're at 179, hitting 180 this pre-market. Past 2 years, they started at 67, now they're 179, and they were already a massive market cap at the time. So it's shocking how well these tech companies have done. I mean, it's not surprising in the sense that they do use a lot of leverage, right? They use a lot of leverage with their technology. It allows them to expand faster than brick and mortar places. When they have code that they develop, they can sell that to an unlimited number of people, and it costs them nothing more than developing the code initially. Maybe they have to run some servers, but that's pretty cheap. So it's no surprise, really, that these tech companies can do incredibly well, but it just seems shocking to actually see their prices continue to rise this much. I mean, I think, let's pull up Apple's market cap, but I'm pretty sure it's over $3 trillion. So, yeah, it's not quite over $3 trillion yet. It's $2.944 trillion. So, that's crazy. That's crazy. Apple is doing incredibly well. Super high market cap, super duper high. Crazy stuff. I mean, Apple's doing great. Microsoft, they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. They're not making new all-time highs like Apple is, but they're pretty darn close. They're what, like $6 off this pre-market? Although they are falling with the overall markets. They're falling with the SPY, and it looks like, are we about to? No, in a minute and a half, we're about to open. I always miss the opening bell. I'll try not to today, but Microsoft is doing incredibly well. Also, we'll take a peek at Microsoft's market cap. So it's at 2.5 trillion. So these companies are really becoming massive behemoths. I mean, and it makes sense. They've been doing very well for a long time, and it looks like it's allowing them to just continue expanding and making new acquisitions, and just reaching more customers with marketing dollars. So I think they both have pretty big cash reserves as well. So they both, Apple and Microsoft, and I'm sure Amazon. And now we're going to start having to look at Meta platforms instead of Facebook, the other big one. But Amazon it's been a bit of a bumpy ride with Amazon. They've been going up, but not nearly as much as the other ones. That's surprising. Let's see what Amazon is at. So they've fallen behind. Surprising to see that, but they're at $1.74 trillion. So it's surprising to see. I'd think that Amazon is a bit more impactful of a company than Apple. I mean, I know Apple has a lot of the phone market, but whew, boy, that's a scary opening bell. We just instantly drop a cent on Sundial. Looks like a lot of people were unloading some shares. DWAC moving up though, and now we've got the opening bell. So I'll move back to SPY just to see what's going on. But it's scary to see, or interesting to see actually, that Apple and Microsoft are bigger than Amazon, because Amazon is just such an impactful company, right? I bought something off Amazon. It's coming later today. I bought it just yesterday. So they've really been getting good with the deliveries and the delivery times, and it's surprising to see. I mean, I buy most of the most of the stuff that's not just like, paper towels and that kind of stuff I'll get at Walmart. But most of the other stuff, like electronics and everything like that, that's coming from Amazon. Just because they end up having a much bigger selection than anything you could get. And it ends up getting here pretty darn quickly. So, and it's pretty cheap too. I mean, you end up finding all of these different things you can get. You end up getting a good price on them. So I'm just surprised that Amazon isn't doing a bit better than they are. So yeah, we've got the opening bell. Silver's letting us know. Less stuff to deliver because of shortage, says Acorn Sucks. Yeah, that's true, I suppose. And they're not completely a tech company, right? They are dealing with physical products, so that's probably limiting them a little bit. Some of the other tech companies that are selling just software, they can do pretty darn good because there's no limit. There's no variable cost, essentially, right? They have a fixed cost of developing the software, and then they can just keep selling it. And obviously, they update it. They have some coders working for them all around the clock, but it ends up being a bit of a better business model, in my opinion. So it looks like Sundial's having a little rough day today. They're down 2.5%. That's not the worst thing to see, actually, because typically we'll be up a little bit on Sundial, and then we'll end up moving down. So that's what I've noticed. Over the past couple of times, we'll move up a little bit in the pre-market sometimes, and then we'll move down. Maybe we'll see the opposite. Maybe we'll move down during the first couple of bars of the day and start moving up. We'll see. That would be nice to see with Sundial. I wouldn't mind to see a nice little reversal. Yeah, and Silver says, Sam's, Costco, Walmart stores were packed with products for Xmas eating prep and gift preps. Yeah. Yep. I was just at Costco the other day. They've got themselves pretty well stocked at this point. It doesn't even look like there's a shortage. So looks like SPY is suffering. SPY is moving down. So maybe we won't be making all-time highs today. We're a couple bucks away from it at this point. We're actually red on the day, 0.18%. So TWAC, massive red bar. Not honestly that big price-wise. It's about a little bit less than $1 worth of red bar, but now it's about $1 worth of red bar. But geez, they only had 5,000 shares traded the second bar of the day, surprisingly enough. So it wasn't that tough to push them down. Then they only needed 25,000 shares traded. Not surprising that they were able to be pushed down because the volume is so low. Weird stuff. So not sure why they'd be getting pushed down. I mean, obviously, they're going to try to test the 55 again. We do have a pretty darn good support there, so I'm not super worried about it. It's possible that we'll break through that, but I'm hoping not. We have hit it a bunch in the past. We've hit 55 and not broken through. So if we do get to 55 again, which it looks like we probably will, we're heading there very quickly. We're at 55.37, so we are hitting 55 today. It looks like we're getting close, at least. Unless we bounce up right here, then we're probably going to hit it. But yeah, there we go. We just touched 55, and we'll see if we can get a little bounce or if we just shoot right through it. Down to 53.76. That is there's a lot of momentum behind this, and we, in fact, breaking through 55 just saw some more volume than we saw on the opening bell. So, I mean, I guess it's only opening up cheaper buying opportunities. And Daughter of Jerusalem says, me too, waiting for DWAC to dip more to buy. Yeah, I think it's only opening up additional buying opportunities. And let's see what the premiums are looking like on these options. Yeah, they're looking pretty cheap. I mean, you could sell... you don't want to wait that long probably, but you could sell some options for a pretty decent premium. And we'll see what happens if it gets even cheaper than this. Did they get halted? No, they're not halted yet. There we go. Okay, not halted. And JL says, keep coming down. Yeah, make it a little bit cheaper. I'd be happy to see it a little bit cheaper. I mean, obviously, it's disappointing for people holding it. They want it to go up, but I wouldn't mind getting some DWAC for a little bit cheaper than this. Honestly, I feel like it would have been a great opportunity. I missed out on it to buy around right before the big spike up when we were down to 36.69 at one point. So that would have been a great buy. You could have doubled your money potentially, almost doubled it if you bought around there. So there have been some good dips on DWAC. We'll have to see how far this one dips to. And it looks like Sundial is starting to stabilize around 57 cents, using that as a little bit of support. The S&P potentially reversing this downwards trend. We've got a big green wick on this bar. We'll see if we can start moving up with the S&P. That's probably been dragging down some of the market. It looks like DWAC starting to come green again too, alongside the S&P. So that would be nice if they could both become green. We're moving back up to 55 bucks on DWAC. Hopefully not dropping too much more, but I will show you guys the trends data for DWAC, and potentially this is one of the problems why it's falling a little bit. You can see we were getting a lot of attention last week. You can see the trends data on Google. This is a search for DWAC stock. We were getting a lot of attention last week, and then today it's kind of faded away. Not too many people searching for it compared to last week, at least. I mean, we had highs of 100 on Thursday, and now we've definitely faded away a little bit. So fewer people are interested in DWAC after the weekend. Maybe that'll recover if we start getting some green on DWAC. Maybe some people will start coming back to it and looking into it again, but I don't even know if it's trending. Okay, it's barely still on StockTwits. It's the number 10 trending stock on StockTwits. So we'll see if it can hold itself there, but it's not one of the trending. It's one of the number 10 most active on StockTwits, and it's not on the trending list. So they aren't getting too many new mentions. So we'll see what happens with them. They've only got about 1,123 mentions on DWAC. So we'll see if that can maintain itself. And on Ape Wisdom, let's see if they're anywhere significant. Okay. So Ape Wisdom, you got to go all the way down to spot 33 to see where DWAC is trending. They're pretty darn low on Reddit. Only 22 mentions on Reddit, 39 upvotes. So they have fallen out of popularity a little bit over the weekend on Reddit. Not too many people posting about them, but we'll see what happens come the next catalyst. I mean, we saw DWAC move up pretty significantly on that pipe news, and for good reason probably, right? Because that pipe release came out and they raised that extra $1 billion, they're in a much stronger position as a company than they were beforehand. So that's definitely a good thing for them. Over the long term, from a fundamental perspective, the pipe investors are definitely going to benefit DWAC. So we're happy to see that. It's looking like Sundial just saw a lot of volume on a doji candlestick. It's gray. It opened at the same place that it closed, and now we're starting to move up. So that could be an indication that we have started this little reversal on Sundial. We'll see. Looks like it was people didn't want Sundial to go below 57 cents, so now we're moving back up. We'll see what happens with Sundial. Hopefully we see a green day today, but who knows? It's probably not going to pump up too much until the end of the year. That's what I would expect. I wouldn't expect to see us exploding until 2022, but we'll see when legalization is a little bit more on the forefront of people's minds, when they could see it happening that calendar year. I think that people will be a little bit more bullish on Sundial, but we'll see. Obviously, the shorts in Sundial have continued building up their positions. So you can see it right here. The shorts in Sundial plus 0.87% today. 17% of the free float is short. So significant percentage, getting back up there to 351 million, just about 350.96 million shares short on Sundial. Shorts are relentless. They are not afraid to short Sundial for whatever reason. They don't mind it at all. And good morning, Brazil AA. And Tim Boone says SWBI looks to move with which party is in power, I think you're saying. SWBI. So yeah, it looks like potentially that could be the case. I think that over the long term, though, I could see this one doing pretty good, just because so many new gun owners or so many people have bought their first gun. And this is Smith and Wesson brands, by the way, so gun manufacturers. So many people bought their first gun during the pandemic that I think there will probably be a lot more business for them in the future, right? Once you get your first, then you're more likely to get your second. You're probably going to buy some ammo if you're going to the range or whatever. You might need some gear. So I could see Smith & Wesson doing pretty good. And the more people who have them, the more people who accept them, the more likely other people will be to accept them in the future. So, and Rich M asks, what's a good ammo stock? I'm really not sure about that. I've never really looked into it. I'm not sure what a good ammo stock is. I believe Smith & Wesson does ammo, so potentially Smith & Wesson, but I'm not sure. I've not looked into ammo stocks, actually. I never thought to do it. I never thought about weapons manufacturers. But yeah, not a bad idea, actually, come to think of it, especially over the past year. If you bought into it, if you bought in right before or right during when after COVID hit, when this thing was trading for $4, $5, even $6 or $7, I mean, you're in the green big time, and especially considering that it was at one point trading at $39.61 when it was really spiking up. Then you're in the green big time. So that was not a bad sale at all. So if anyone was selling it around there, then good job, congratulations. Smith & Wesson's done pretty darn good. So we'll pull back up SPY, see what's going on with them. It looks like we've continued this downtrend a little bit, even though we have seen some green over the past 2 minutes. We've continued this downtrend. It looks like DWAC could not quite recover above 55. There's always still the chance that they'll shoot back up to it. You never know when we're going to get a big buyer, big green bar. It could even be this bar that DWAC uses to buoy back up to $55. Would not surprise me. And POW, says Daughter of Jerusalem. POW out of Arizona. Oh, POW. I guess POWW might be the ticker. Ammoinc.com. Yeah, okay, there you go. So POWW is the ticker symbol for that one. Looks like they're trading for $5.75 right now, and at their peaks, they were over $10. And once again, before COVID, they were trading for around $1, 96 cents. So it looks like they could be good. Yeah, it looks like they could be good over the long term, especially with the ammo shortage, right? People are probably willing to pay up the wazoo for new ammo. So it wouldn't surprise me to see POW, P-O-W-W, Ammo Inc. doing pretty good. And Rocky Mountain Gobbler says, as a woman, I think all capable women should own at least one handgun and learn it well. That makes sense. That makes sense. It makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how much about weapons and stuff I can talk about on the channel. I think there's some stipulation. I don't think YouTube likes it too much, so I won't say much more about it, but that makes some sense to me. So, looks like Sundial may be reversing this downtrend they've been in. We're getting close. Yeah, we're getting close to highs of day. So if we got up above about 58 cents, we'd be seeing highs of day. And we'd have to get up to 62.5 cents if we wanted to break out the highs of the pre-market. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that. Not sure if we'll be able to do it, but hopefully. It looks like DWAC starting to move up alongside the markets. It looks like the markets are determining what will happen with all of these stocks. With DWAC, with Sundial, not so much CFVI. Maybe a little bit, but not so much CFVI. It looks like Sundial and DWAC, though, are following with the S&P for whatever reason. So it looks like if we could get the S&P moving back up above 470, we could see some good stuff for both of them. DWAC potentially back up above 55. That would be nice. And I will pull up this market map in any second. Whenever it fills itself out, it always takes forever to fill itself out. But right now you can see the market map is just gray. It takes a couple minutes to see where everything is to pull the data. But I will pull up the crypto markets for just a minute. We'll see what cryptos are doing. It looks like Bitcoin has not been doing too well. Maybe Bitcoin is expecting Powell to be a little bit more hawkish. You might be expecting, Bitcoin. People who are investing in Bitcoin might be expecting Powell to continue to taper earlier and potentially raise interest rates sooner, which wouldn't be good for Bitcoin, right? People would be more wanting to hold cash in that situation. And you can see Bitcoin's down to 48,200, down 3% on the day. It's not looking like a great chart. Since the market's opened, we've actually been moving down on Bitcoin. So who knows what's going on with Bitcoin, but it looks like we could still be in this downtrend. It's not looking good over the past year. If you look at the chart, it looks like we are in a bit of a downtrend, so it's not looking great for Bitcoin. It could be moving down further. We're down below 48,000 now, to 47,900. So we've been falling somewhat significantly. Not good to see for any Bitcoin holders out there, but I'm not too worried about it. I've still got some Bitcoin. It's not the most Bitcoin, but it's something. And Ethereum is also down. I've also got a little bit of Ethereum. And those are the kinds of things that I'm just going to hold just in case they end up continuing to explode in the future. It seems worth having a little bit of. I'm not the most bullish, I'll say, on Bitcoin and Ethereum over the long term. I'm not the most bullish on them, but they've been doing good so far. They've been doing really good. And I think it makes sense to have a little bit just because you never know if more people are going to buy in and it's just going to keep raising the price. But Bitcoin and Ethereum doing pretty darn good. And we'll take a peek at Dogecoin and see what Dogecoin is doing. Whew, it's down to 16 cents, down 4% today. Dogecoin's not looking good. It's been moving down. People have been selling it. It's is that new all-time low ever since the pump? I think it is. I think that today we're just breaking through all of those old support levels that we had. I think 17 cents was the old all-time low that we were at, and now we're hitting 16 cents. So it looks like we might be entering a little bit of a bear market for these cryptos. Shiba Inu not doing too bad, though. Shiba Inu's not doing all that bad. It's up 0.5%, so it's still in a pretty nasty downtrend ever since it peaked at around 0.000 or 0.008 cents. So we'll see what happens with Shiba Inu. It's still in a nasty downtrend, it looks like, but it has slowed its descent at least. So maybe that's a sign that it's going to start reversing, start moving back up. We'll see. You never know. And Roman Cantu says most crypto is down 4 to 10%. Yeah. Yeah, cryptos are moving down a bit, so cryptos aren't looking great. And Valera P, the only reason Sundial is not dropping fast is some haven't read the latest about Alcana postponing the vote. Once it's realized by all, this is done for sure. That's what Valera P says. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that the news about the Alcana delay is not ideal. I will say that. It's not ideal to see the Alcana delay. I'm not the happiest about it, but it makes sense, right? They're delaying it for a good reason. They're delaying it because they need more people to vote in the vote, right? A lot of people are shareholders. They might be kind of mindless, not thinking about the vote too much. They might think, ooh, the 1,000 shares that I have don't really matter that much. But if there's a ton of people out there like that, then and none of them vote, then they're going to need some of those people to come in and vote just to get the 66 2/3 of the total necessary to actually get the vote to go through. So we'll see. I mean, they're giving people more time so that they can get more proxy voting coming in. I think that they were worried because they weren't sure if by December 14th they would have enough voters. So the proxy voting stopped December 10th. Now it looks like it's going to stop, January 5th. So we've got some more time on it. They're probably going to have to publicize to their shareholders a little bit, hey, come on, guys, we need you to vote. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get some more Alcana shareholders coming out and voting in the merger agreement. So Gitcher Leslie says, don't look into the camera, it excites me. I'll try not to. And Ufuk says, isn't the Alcana vote now the final extension? It is the final extension. So yeah, it is not going to be delayed anymore. It says, so Alcana will continue to engage with Alcana shareholders during the one-time extension. So it looks like that's going to be the last time that this thing gets delayed. And Stand Up says it's a win-win for Sundial. If Alcana backs out, Sundial gets 10 million. If they don't, Sundial will get 170 plus stores and Nova. Yeah, it does sound like a win-win. So nothing too bad can happen with it. Nothing too bad can happen with it. But man, the S&P just keeps getting ragged on. It looks like it's moving down. Potentially will be moving down below 469. We'll see if that happens. $469 might not hold for the S&P. And Brent Walmsley says, I have a silly 1,500 shares of Sundial at 91 cents. Feels wonderful. Nice. Yeah, that was the peak, it looked like, of we're pretty darn close to the peak of 91 cents. Not quite the peak. There were a couple opportunities to buy for more, but you got it pretty high on that most recent pump up. And I think it's definitely been unfair what's happened to Sundial over the past couple of days or weeks, actually, just getting pushed down. It looks like finally we have actually stopped that big downtrend, even though we're starting to move down over the past couple days. Just the fact that we're not moving down in this straight line is comforting, right? So we'll see if I don't think we'll make new lows on Sundial. I mean, 53 cents is pretty darn cheap for it. Although we are seeing a bit of a bearish day today. We're down 2.53%. I don't think we'll drop too much lower. And good morning, Jordan Israel Peterson. Good morning. You got here just in time so that I can move my laundry into the dryer. I'll be right back, guys. Just sit tight. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So, let's see what we've got going on in the comments since I left. So, Ufuk says, yeah, I think that too. I mean, it's really ripe for a buyout too with its almost flawless balance sheet and what it's got going for it. I think you're talking about Sundial. So, let's see. Shall we play a trick on Rob while he's gone? Don't say anything. I have just put a pin on his chair. Yeah, okay, all right. I see what you're doing. So, and Zachary, yes, everyone tell him someone else is in his house and we saw them on camera. All right. I wasn't that far from the camera, guys. I was always within view of the computer. I was never too far away. Don't you guys worry. But that's impressive that everybody stuck around. I mean, nobody even left during that. That was a fairly long break. So good job, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around through that. It looks like, unfortunately, the market has continued to dip while I was gone. We're now down below 469 bucks on the S&P. Looks like CFVI isn't having the best of days either. It's pretty stagnant, at least. At least we're not at the lows of day on CFVI. We're not at lows of day for anything except for SPY. I mean, now we're not on this bar, but a bar ago we were. So scary stuff. The markets are certainly moving down. A lot is red in the markets today. I'm wondering when this S&P map will actually... There we go. Here we go. So the S&P, it's looking like it's a fairly mixed bag, but mostly red. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, all red. Tesla's now down below 1,000. The only things that are green are Facebook, Adobe, Qualcomm, Pfizer, of course, is doing very well. Coca-Cola, all right. Coca-Cola. I mean, Warren Buffett's done pretty good with Coca-Cola, but I haven't noticed it doing too much lately. I mean, if you look at KO, now, of course, it's doing good, but actually, look at that. It did. Is that all-time highs on Coca-Cola? Did we just get to all... No. We didn't. Okay. We didn't get to all-time highs on Coca-Cola. We're getting closer, though. We're at 57. We only need to get to $60 to get to all-time highs on Coca-Cola stocks. So we're not that far off. We could do it. And Stand-Up says you owe us an extra 10 minutes for the break. All right, well, we'll stay a little bit longer. How about an extra 5 minutes? We'll do an extra 5. And Silver says major recall in soft drink news. Oh, wow. I'm surprised that Coca-Cola's moving up. It must be some of their competitors getting recalled. And JP Morgan just upgraded Coca-Cola stock on sales momentum. All right. So that's good to see. And we're still waiting for the Fed decision. All right. So price target adjusted to $63 from $59. All right. Nice. And I mean, Coca-Cola is a safe one. I hold some Coca-Cola in my dividend, in the dividend section of my portfolio. So that is my opinion on Coca-Cola. I think it makes sense to have a little bit because they do pay a decent dividend. Warren Buffett likes them. I hold a little bit. I'll admit it. It's not my favorite stock. It obviously hasn't done nearly as well as some of the other more tech-based companies, but it's done decently over the past 5 years. You've seen almost not that big of an increase, honestly. And they certainly got hurt during COVID. When COVID first hit, they just got destroyed. They were at $60 and they moved down to 36 at the lows. Crazy to see Coca-Cola moving down that low. But lately they've been popping off. They just popped up from 52. Now they're at 57. They're doing pretty darn good for such a stable and large company. It's surprising to see them moving up this quickly. But I guess when you get an upgrade from an analyst and you're a company this big, let's see what their market cap is actually. KO. What's the market cap on that? It's not as big as I would have thought. It's $247 billion. I would have thought it would be maybe closer to $1 trillion, but I guess not. Warren Buffett's wealth isn't that large compared to Elon Musk and all that. So, and of course, we can check out the world's richest people. So here we go. Here's the list, the fun list that we've got. So, the real-time billionaires. We like to check this every now and then. It's fun to see. Elon Musk at number 1 still, though he lost $5.3 billion today. His wealth is down 2%. He's still got $260 billion. And Jeff Bezos coming in. And actually, what's scary for Bezos is he's number 2. He's down $1.5 billion today. And very close behind him is Bernard Arnault and family. Very close behind him at 194 million. So Jeff Bezos has 196.9, basically 197 billion. And Bernard Arnault has basically 194.5 billion. So very close, about 2.5 billion away from beating him. So not that much would need to happen. Not that much would need to happen at all, actually. Geez. So they're pretty darn neck and neck, Bezos and Bernard Arnault, which I don't actually know what Bernard Arnault does. So let me actually take a look at that. Bernard Arnault. So he is a French businessman, investor, and art collector. He's the chairman and chief executive of LVMH Moet Hennessy. Oh, did he make Hennessy? Louis Vuitton, and the world's largest luxury goods company. So let's see what Forbes has to say about him. Bernard Arnault, one of the world's ultimate tastemakers. Bernard Arnault oversees an empire of 70 brands, including Louis Vuitton and Sephora. In January 2021, LVMH completed a deal for American jeweler Tiffany & Co. for $15.8 billion, believed to be the biggest luxury brand acquisition ever. They spent $3.2 billion in 2019 for luxury hospital group Belmond, which owns 46 hotels. Sorry, not hospitals, hotels. So they manage 46 hotels, trains, and river cruises. And his father made a small fortune in construction. Arnold got his start by putting up $15 million from that business to buy Dior in 1985. So he's a classy guy. It sounds like a Frenchman, and it looks like he's been doing pretty good with those brands. And Roman Cantu says AMC is getting crushed. Let's take a peek. AMC down 8% to $25. Jeez. Let's actually create a little poll, and we'll ask how low when do you think AMC will reverse? How low will AMC get? We'll ask that in the poll. Maybe that might not be the best wording. We'll see. All right, so let's say 24. We'll do another one at 20. Do one at 15. Let's see. So we got 20, 15. We'll take it down to 5 and 0. Well, I don't think it's going to 0, but AMC limbo poll. Oh, true, Kitchener. That's basically what we're doing. Let's see, and we'll put some dollar signs in here to pretty up the poll a little bit. There we go. That looks a little bit nicer. Let's see what you guys think about AMC. $21 or low, I hope, so I can buy even more shares, says NC Proud Dad. Taking profits now before Congress increases more taxation next year. Yeah, might not be a bad idea. I prefer tax loss harvesting, and if you combine tax loss harvesting with taking profits, that's the way to do it, really, because then you can take more profits while also mitigating the tax consequences. So, not a bad idea. Stand Up says AMC and GME are not in play anymore. Management has no plan for progression. Also, they are selling shares left and right. And Kitchener Leslie says, I don't think AMC will come back. Half of America hates Hollywood. Most people have home theaters now. JL says sell it and short. A lot of AMC bears in here. At least the vocal ones are AMC bears. But we'll see. We've got 9 votes in the poll, guys. If you haven't voted in this poll, we're asking how low will AMC get. It's currently trading at $24.96. And a decent number of people think it'll get down to $20. Obviously, there should have probably been an option in there for it's going to turn around like right now. They don't think it'll get any lower. They think it'll stay at 25. But, they only allow you 5 options in this poll, or 4 options in this poll. So I couldn't quite add too many more options in there. So we did max it out, but decent number of people also think AMC is getting down to $10. We've got 15 votes so far. So 5 people for 20, 5 people for 10. Looks like it's getting close. It's getting close now. It's tough to say what people think AMC is going to do. It looks like 20, 15, 10. Who knows? Most of the people think it's going to 10. Scary stuff. AMC is big enough and smart enough to rebrand, remarket plans and works, Netflix deals, etc. It's not over for AMC, says Ambition. It's always possible. It's always possible for them to come back. I mean, if they've been selling shares left and right, then they've probably been raising some serious capital. So I've not kept up too much with AMC, honestly. I've not kept up with them all that much, but we'll see what happens with them. It looks like they are in a bit of a downturn right now. They have actually broken through the old supports. I wonder what Matt Kors has to say about it. He's He's typically on the AMC ball, but I've not been watching him lately. So we'll see. Nobody is jumping ship, says NC Proud Dad. I think a lot of people are sticking with it. I think a lot of people are. It's down a little bit today. It's sticking around 25 though. We'll see if they can gain some support at 25. Far Rider says they are not going out of business. CFO sold like 18K shares and shills are claiming end of the world. Yeah, I don't think they're going out of business. I would be surprised if they went out of business. But it's going to be tough for them. I think they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to figure out something else other than movie theaters, because movie theaters are cool. I don't think that they're all going away. I don't think we're going to get rid of all the movie theaters. I think people will still enjoy going out to the movies. It's a fun experience, but I don't know if they're definitely not going to be as popular as they are today in 10 years from now. We're going to have far less movie theaters, most likely. We're going to probably need them to change their business a little bit. It looks like CFVI has taken a dump. CFVI just dumped massively, down from 1280, it's down to 1227 on this big bar with over 200,000 shares trading that minute. So it looks like a little whale sold some CFVI, making it a little bit cheaper for the rest of us. And we're getting a big green bar right afterwards, so that's interesting to see. It actually went higher on that bar, so now it's getting pushed back down again. We'll see what happens with them. And Stand Up says the meta is going to run them out. Virtual movies is going to jump. Yeah, I think that any metaverse stock is probably going to do pretty good, especially the legitimate ones like Facebook. I think they're going to do incredible over the next couple of years. I think Facebook's, or as we should call them now, meta platforms. I'm pretty sure they still go by Facebook, though. FB, Meta Platforms Inc. Yeah, so I think eventually they'll change the ticker to MVRS for Metaverse. I'm pretty sure that's what Facebook's changing it to. But I expect them to do incredibly well. And in fact, they are up 3% today. So they're on their way up. And I'm happy to see it. I own some Facebook. Metaverse went live, says Silver. Oh, is that what happened with Facebook today? Interesting. So I'm not seeing Metaverse went live. Let's Google that. Is the Metaverse live? So what is Metaverse? It's a combination of multiple elements of technology, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and video, where users live within a digital universe. That's, it's an interesting idea. I think people are probably looking at the Metaverse the wrong way. I don't know if there's just going to be one virtual universe that everybody's living in. We'll see what happens with the Metaverse. I don't know. People are, at least the way a lot of these articles are explaining it, I think they're really misunderstanding what the technology is. I don't know if it's just going to be one metaverse or if it's just going to be much better virtual reality that we've got. They're trying to make it sound like there's just one virtual world, as if people aren't going to be making a bunch of different virtual worlds. So that'll be interesting to see which virtual worlds become the most popular. That'll be a cool development in the future of the metaverse. We'll see how many people prefer to join Facebook's version versus maybe NVIDIA will make one. I know they're working on some stuff. We'll see how many different metaverses there are. I mean, maybe Facebook will make a bunch of different metaverses that people can interact in. It's just like saying that there's going to be one metaverse is saying that there's going to be one video game that people can play. I think there'll probably be quite a few. So we'll see. It's very interesting, though, that they're making a completely virtual world. I mean, if they're trying to make it realistic, it'll be pretty strange. We'll have to see what happens. And Silver says Keanu Reeves laughed about crypto and metaverse in a recent interview for Matrix. That's awesome. Let's see. So The Matrix. All right, let's find Keanu. So during the sit-down, Reeves mused that he hopes any future metaverse isn't solely a product of Facebook. Okay. Do you think it's this, and this is a quote from the interviewer, do you think it's dystopian the way the original Matrix kind of presents all this? Oh, kind of presented all this, asks the interviewer. Reeves seems to think so and strings together some thoughts on the intersection of content creation and cryptocurrency, seeming baffled by the dark side of their convergence. He confirms that he does own cryptocurrency personally. A friend of mine bought some from me a while back. I think he meant to say for me, but it says from me. But he hasn't done anything with it. So, did you guys see the Matrix NFT thing they did for Resurrections? The interviewer follows up. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I can play any of these videos, just based off YouTube's rules and whatnot. I don't know if I should. I probably won't. I'll have to look into that a little bit more, but yeah, it looks like Keanu isn't the biggest fan of the metaverse. It looks like he owns some crypto, but only because a friend bought some for him. So that's interesting stuff. That's interesting. I mean, overall, I think Facebook's going to be doing really well. They're certainly doing really well today. I think over the long term, we'll probably see a lot more appreciation with Facebook. Especially, I mean, I think one of the worst things that Facebook had going for them was the name Facebook, right? Because it was so outdated almost, right? None of my friends really use it. I don't really use it that much, pretty much ever. I think it was a little outdated, and I'm glad to see them rebranding to something a bit more futuristic, because that's one of the most important parts of a stock price, right? When you're looking at Facebook versus Tesla, when you look at the PEs on those, Facebook, we'll pull up both of them right here next to each other. Side by side, we'll have Facebook and Tesla, and we'll see just how much higher one is than the other because of the expectations for the future. So, looks like they are trading at pretty much the same market cap, right? Facebook's market cap is $947 billion. Tesla's is $982 billion. So Tesla has a larger market cap than Facebook. However, it's trading, Tesla's PE, well, I'll show you Facebook's PE. Facebook is trading at a PE of 24. Tesla is trading at a PE of 319. If Facebook was trading at a PE of 319, let's do the math on that and see what Facebook would be trading for if its PE was 319. So let's do the math on this real quick. It's trading for $340 right now. 340 divided by 24 times 319. So Facebook would be trading for $4,500 a share if it was trading for the same PE as Tesla is. And obviously it's a different business. It has Elon Musk working for them. They're working on AI and all that. But at the same time, I mean, a lot of stocks is just the expectation for the future, and a lot of that is posturing from the company and Elon Musk. I think Zuckerberg is probably not the best face of Facebook, honestly. But, he's done decently for the company. He's obviously taken it to very high highs. Market cap wise, at the very least, he's done very well for them over the long term. If you look at the past 3 years, they've been doing incredibly well. I guess the point of that is just that, a lot of it is the branding of the company. And I think that Facebook, during this rebrand, is probably going to start doing a lot better. I think we're starting to see it today. They're already up 3.37%. I'm pretty bullish on Facebook over the long term, especially because of this metaverse thing. I was already pretty bullish on Facebook because I knew they made the Oculus, the Quest 2, which I'll pull up a little picture of. So actually, let me pull up VR headset market breakdown. So let's actually see. Here we go. This is what we want. So we want to see the market breakdown of VR headsets. So I'm pretty sure. No, that's not it. We want a nice image of how much Facebook owns. I think they own most of the VR headsets. They've made most of the market share. Here we go. VR headset market share. So, Interesting. Chart shows VR headset market share in 2019. Looks like Sony. Looks like Sony might actually be beating out Oculus. That's interesting to see. I believed that Facebook's Oculus Quest 2 is most of the headsets sold. So let's see if we can't find something on that. So Oculus Quest 2 grows. Okay, here we go. Here's something right there. So this is a more recent article. That was from 2019 data, but the Quest 2 has certainly had time to grow. Let's see. The Oculus Quest 2 grows its VR headset market lead to 35% of the market. So October's Steam hardware survey showed the Oculus Quest 2 is still the most popular VR headset on the store, growing its market share to 35%. And so there we go. So 35% of VR headsets used are Oculus Quest 2s, and that is Facebook's product. So they own a third of the market with just that one headset that they've got. They've got other headsets, but they've certainly made the Oculus Quest 2. I think that's the cheapest one that you can get. It's $300. It's a real good deal. I've got one. It's super convenient, very cheap, a really good quality for how cheap it is. I'll just pull it up right here. You guys can see the image of the Oculus. For those of you who haven't, I know I've shown this a couple of times, but I think it's pretty darn cool, and I think Facebook's going to be doing real well with it right here. It's a nice VR headset. You've got a couple of controllers that come with it. Like I said, starting from $299. So not bad, and it really is pretty darn immersive. For those of you who have never used VR, the nice part about this is you don't need a bunch of cameras watching you. You just put on the headset. It knows where you are. It looks around the room, and you can draw a little circle that you stay in so that you don't bump into anything, and it warns you if you're starting to get too close to the edge and all that. It's pretty darn cool. So I think that this is really what's leading a lot of Facebook's metaverse gains, right? I think that they're going to be doing pretty good in the future because they've been able to take over so much of the VR market. I mean, people are just probably going to be willing to move over to the Oculus Quest 3 whenever that comes out. And Abstract, what's up, man? Good morning. We were just talking about metaverse, and that certainly sounds a lot like crypto to me. That sounds like something that would be involved with cryptocurrency, the metaverse. So we will take a peek at cryptocurrency now that Abstract's in the chat. Crypto's doing not great today, though. It's not a pretty sight. I'm not seeing any cryptos that are up over 0.5%. In fact, nothing is up over 0.15%. You know, Tether and the stable coins are actually some of the only ones that are up. The only other thing that's up besides the stable coins is Shiba Inu, which is up 0.09%, so barely anything. But Bitcoin's down 3.82%, down below 48,000. It's 47,800 right now. Ethereum's down below 4,000, down to $3,900. Binance Coin down to 500, down 5%. Solana down 6%. Cardano down 5.7%. Dogecoin down 4.31%, down to new lows ever since the most recent pump. So, not great for Dogecoin. And Shiba Inu, like I said, the only one that's green today, but just barely at 0.09% increase on Shiba Inu. So, we're not looking at a great crypto day. Pretty much everything is down. And this is potentially because of the meeting that the Fed is going to have later this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Fed is going to be having a 2-day policy setting meeting. Powell's going to be speaking at a press conference. And a lot of people must be expecting to see some slightly more hawkish discussions from the Fed. I think people are expecting that the Fed is potentially going to be talking about tapering sooner rather than later. They might be talking about raising interest rates sooner rather than later. We could see some bad stuff coming from the Fed's direction for the markets. I mean, the markets are down too. It's not just crypto, but the markets are moving down too because people are expecting higher interest rates. We saw very high inflation from the CPI lately, and people are expecting higher interest rates because of it. So gold, actually, not doing too bad. Gold's doing pretty good. It's up 0.2%. Silver's up 0.73%. So not doing bad in the metals. The VIX is up again. The VIX started moving back up. It's up 7%, and that's the market volatility index. So overall, markets are looking a little bit riskier, though we were very close on the SPY to getting to new all-time highs. We are currently sitting at 468.95, and to get to all-time highs, we'd have to get to 473.54. So we're not that far off from new all-time highs on the S&P. It was looking like we might get there today. However, the tables have turned, because in the pre-market, the after hours on Friday, we got to $472.96. We were less than $1 away from the all-time highs that we were hoping for, but it didn't happen. We were about 60 cents away, and we couldn't quite get there. We started moving down instead. Now we're down on the day. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it, but overall, it's been a bit of a bearish day for the markets. People have been slightly disappointed with that. We were hoping to see a little bit more green today, I will say. That has not happened yet. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. It's not like the markets are crashing. They're down less than 0.5%. So overall, things have not gotten that bad. We're not looking at too much red in the markets today. It's a mixed bag, in fact. If we look at the S&P 500 map, it's actually making Facebook look like a great buy. Facebook's the one of the greenest gems out there. Facebook and Pfizer. Pfizer's doing pretty good, probably on Omicron fears. But Facebook is also doing very well, up 2.76%. That's why we were talking about the metaverse. So, and Stand Up says that the Quest 2, it's cheap, but you pay for it with your privacy. There's a run-in joke of my friends and I that we've got that the way they're able to, make it so cheap is that now they know what the inside of our house looks like because the cameras are just running all the time. And there is, let me pull up something on this. There's a rumor, I don't know if it's a rumor, but the Quest 2 is said to use up a lot of internet and waste its battery life if you just leave it on. So always turn it off. So let's see. So 10medium.com. Okay. So Facebook's Oculus Quest 2 has some serious privacy issues, says this article that we're about to pull up. Here we go. This is, when was this article posted? September 18th, 2020. So this is an old article, I'll say, but we'll see what they've got to say about it. Facebook's Oculus Quest 2 has some serious privacy issues. The leaks are true. Oculus, which is owned by Facebook, just announced the Quest 2, a very decent low-end VR headset mounted display for under $300. And people are hoping, Facebook's hoping that a bunch of people will jump into it. It looks like they did. But there are serious privacy concerns that are preventing many people, including me, from buying these devices. Okay. So Facebook revised their XR privacy policies recently. This was the company's best opportunity, in my view, to correct some of its most erogenous abuses of trust, where it could clearly state their users' rights and clarify any promises Facebook would make to protect those rights. Okay, so what's wrong with the Quest 2 and associated apps collecting? Okay, so the new policies popped up late Friday night, which should tell you something new about how user-friendly they really are. I haven't fully digested them, and I am not a lawyer, but the gist seems to be that Facebook owns your information if you use their systems, and you have the right to opt out by deleting your account. Perhaps it's clearer now what they collect, but it's not any better for you, the user. So what's wrong with Facebook's Quest 2 and associated apps collecting your private information if this pays for a valuable free service and probably makes the device cheaper? A lot, says this article. Facebook is subsidizing these devices with its ad business, and that ad business is primed to collect a lot more data about you, the user, and there's no way to opt out now. Okay. Okay, so it looks like they are collecting a lot of data, at least according to that article talking about Facebook's new policy. So that's interesting to see. Um, and Quest is never off. I swear, when I had it, I log in a Facebook app and it turns on. That's interesting. I think you can turn it off. I think you can turn it off, but I think you might be able to. At least I do. I know that it uses up a lot of internet bandwidth if you don't turn it off. But if you do, and JL says, I'm bullish on True Social and hopefully it will take down Facebook. Sorry, Rob. That's okay, man. I think I would prefer probably if True Social was dominating the social media scene. Though I think that it's good that Facebook is kind of moving more into the VR space. I think as they change into meta platforms, that'll be a bit better for them than being a Facebook company, like a social media company. I mean, obviously they'll still own Instagram, but I'm glad that they'll be moving and pivoting a bit away from that. So, what's a Facebook? Asks Abstract. That's what I'm saying. I don't use it. I use Instagram, but I don't use Facebook. And if you guys ever want to see any of my social media, it's in the description of the video. It's in the description of the stream. If you scroll down, there's places on Twitter, Rumble, Instagram. I think I've got my links for those in the description. If anyone wants to follow me on those, feel free. And on the poll, by the way, where I ask how low will AMC get, we've got a couple of votes. We've got 51 votes, so not too many people voted on the AMC poll, but that's fine. We've got 35% of the 50 people voting. They think it'll go to $20. We've got 18% saying 15, 33% saying 10, and 14% saying 0. So we're going to end the poll right there. Those will be the results for that poll, and we'll see. We'll see what happens if AMC continues moving down. Let's see what they're at right now. Looks like they're at 23. So if you said 20, you might be right. Maybe they'll get down to 20, and hopefully not. It's a ways down. They've not been that low, ever since the most recent pump up, but they have got a support there because that's where they ended up topping out the first time when they were pumping. And Code Solar says, how do you feel about Sundial on the news about Alcana vote being postponed? So we've got that right here, and I'm not the most worried about this, right? So the reason that they postponed it, they say it right here. So they say that only 56.29% of Alcana shares eligible to vote have voted as of the original deadline to vote by proxy, December 10th. So just not enough people were voting, right? They maybe didn't do a good enough job of explaining that there was a vote going on. It's not saying that people voted no. It's just saying that not enough people voted at all, right? They need 66 2/3 percentage-wise of the shareholders to end up voting, at least just voting either yes or no, for this vote to count. So overall, I think that, since they've delayed it, I think that they realize that the time is now to start emailing their shareholders or whatever they need to do to let them know that the vote is going on. But they need some more people coming in and voting yes or no, giving their opinion. I don't think that they would vote no to it. I think that if anything goes wrong with this deal, it would probably be just not getting enough votes total to come through. Obviously, on the day of the vote itself, they'll probably have a decent percentage of people coming in to vote, but my guess is a lot of people are voting by proxy. So they ideally want to be a bit closer than where they are now. So we'll see. We'll see what we can get on Alcana. Currently, they're at 56% of the vote, and they need to get to 66%, so about 10% more. It's not that far off. I think they can do it by January, but it's probably a good thing that they delayed it, because if they didn't get enough votes on the 14th tomorrow, if they didn't get enough then it just wouldn't have gone through. So, either way, it's a win-win. So where's Sundial? I can't see the screen, says Abstract. Okay, yeah. So Sundial's it's down 1.78%. It's at 57.5 cents per share. They're down a little bit on the news that the vote was getting delayed. They started moving down They were at 60 cents per share when the news came out, but they haven't been in free fall or anything, right? They've just stagnated since the market opened. They haven't really gone up or down too much. They initially just took a little bit of a tumble and then have been stagnating for the rest of the day. So all in all, not the worst for Sundial, right? It could have been much worse. I'm not too worried about it. I think that when the vote does happen, it's what, January 7th, I think, is when the new vote is. And voting by proxy, the deadline for that is January 5th. I'm not too worried. So Luke Ta says, Dogecoin sucks big time at 15 cents. Yeah, we were looking at cryptos, and let's see, where is Dogecoin now? Is it really down to 15 cents? It's at 16 right now. So not quite 15.91, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Dogecoin's definitely been falling. Yeah, no, we've definitely seen cryptos falling a bit. Unfortunately, that's the flavor of the day. Cryptos and stocks are moving down a touch. People are getting a little bit more fearful. You can tell the VIX is now up actually 11% today, so it's up somewhat significantly. It closed the day on Friday pretty low, so people were not expecting much volatility. It looks like there's a lot more volatility coming in now. I don't think we'll break the old highs that we saw on the VIX when we had that last little scare when people were worried about the markets falling super low. I don't think we'll break the old highs on the VIX. I don't think we'll get as low as we got. Maybe we will. Obviously, at any point the markets could turn around, but all in all, it's not looking like the worst fall that we've seen. I mean, it's a bit of a bearish day, but overall, we've seen much bigger dips. And granted, we've only just gone through the first hour of the market being open, so we could see some more red. We definitely could. We're down a little over 0.5% already on the S&P. Looks like DWAC though has been recovering. We're back up above 55.5. The abstract says, "I need Doge to get to 30 cents so I could sell it." Yeah, I would like it to get to 30 cents too. I'd sell some there too. And Quentin White says, "Sundial fight back this morning. Love to see it." Yeah, Sundial. It's not just in free fall. I'm glad to see that they're resisting the urge to just fall as they have in the past. I mean, we've seen some more shorts get into Sundial today. I'll take a peek at the shorts. We've got them right here. We've got the shorts data right here. So it's up 0.86% today on Sundial, so almost 1% increase in shorts. We're up to 17% of the free float being shorted, and that equates to about 351 million shares. So 350.93 million shares are short on Sundial. Overall, we've seen worse on Sundial, but it's getting pretty bad. A lot of shorts coming into Sundial stock. We're not happy to see it, but that's what goes on. And also another market catalyst for the day is the OPEC monthly report. That's what we've got coming out later. We've got the OPEC monthly oil market report that covers major issues affecting the world oil markets. That's happening at 7 p.m. today. So long after the market close, we'll have the OPEC monthly report coming out. And OPEC is the world's largest oil-producing nations in the Middle East. That's a group of them, just for those of you who don't know. So we'll see what happens with OPEC. But from the look of it, AMC is trending pretty highly on StockTwits. It looks like people are really talking about this dip that AMC has been going through. It's got 6,000 mentions on StockTwits, so a lot of people talking about it. It's the number one most active and the number one trending. And right under that is Robinhood. Robinhood is the second most trending stock on StockTwits. And Quentin White asks, anybody got 200 million to trap every single short in Sundial? That would be nice. That would be very nice. So Joey Salag, how much is Alcana trading for today? So let me pull up what's Alcana trading for. So Alcana is, it's trading for $5.38 today. Yeah, so overall, it's not too far out of its normal range. So, yeah, it's not too far off, but we can pull it up here. On a stock right there, 538. So it's not too far off its normal range. Over the past 6 months, it's hung around that area a bit. it had more recently moved up, but right before this merger, it ended up moving down. So Silver says OPEC will not up production. I see another fire coming soon in supply chain. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna up the production. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing they would do. I think they'd probably continue price gouging everybody. And Abstract asks, looks like Lucid may be starting to recover. Yeah, I mean they just hit 40, though they did bounce off of it. So they joined the NASDAQ 100 index, so that's good. Okay, so that's good. So they'll start getting a little bit more of capital inflow, and obviously some more credibility just being in the NASDAQ 100. So yeah, good stuff for Lucid. And Sub-Zero, when you going to buy AMC, asks Sub-Zero. Oh, man, we'll see. I mean, let's take a peek at AMC. I mean, maybe we'll get into it at $20. We'll see, though. It's so it's just been falling so much lately. We'll see if maybe 20, maybe 15. We'll see. And Ambition says, you must have had a fun weekend. You're super tired. Yeah, it was a fun weekend. It was a long weekend, though. You know, not the weekends. I always would hope that there would be more time to sleep on them, but it seems like there's never quite enough time to get a full night's sleep. And also, my body is kind of used to getting up at 7 in the morning. So if I'm up late on the weekends, then it's tough to actually sleep in. I find I end up waking up just at the latest at like 8:39. And I just can't sleep in past that. My body doesn't let me. I just end up laying in bed awake, not getting any more sleep. But yeah, a little tired today. Typically that's the way it is right after weekend. Although I would have hoped that the weekends would be a recovery time. But yeah, and also, all of last week I was drinking coffees and stuff. This is just a green tea that I had. So not much caffeine in this. So it's a little bit lower caffeine content in my body than I would normally have. So that's another potential reason why I'm a little tired. But now that you mention it, now I am a little tired. So Quentin White says, I was up till 4 last night working on CryptoDD for a friend's website. Wow, man, that's crazy. And Abstract says, I stay up till 3 a.m. on the weekend, so Mondays are hard. I believe it. I wasn't up until 3. But Mondays are already a little tough for me just because. And try NOS if you like energy drinks, says Quentin White. I not the biggest fan of energy drinks. It just seems like a lot of caffeine, but maybe I'll try them sometime. But it is about that time. It's 10:30 when we typically end the stream around 10:30. We stayed a little bit late because of that long break where I was putting some laundry, moving it from the washer to the dryer. So thank you guys for joining us this Monday. It was not as green of a Monday as I would have hoped. Overall, stocks are dropping a little bit. We'll have to see what happens with that. AMC is down 11% on the day. It's looking like it's recovering a little bit at the moment, though. But I would like to see a little bit more. Silver's asking, will there be a close of day stream? Maybe. There probably won't be. There probably won't be, Silver. We probably won't start that yet. We might start doing it. Tell you what, when we get to 10K, when we get to 10K subs, we'll start thinking about the close of day stream. I'm just not sure. I feel like the mornings are a better time for a lot of people. We might not have too many people joining us. They might be busy at work. Who knows? So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. See you, Rocky Mountain Gobbler. See you, Kitchener, Quentin, Abstract. We'll see you guys. Have a good rest of the day. I'll probably release a video. Bye, guys. Though we'll see you in the next one. Though we're not doing an end of the day stream today, but have a good rest of today. So see you guys.